The latest update on the crash that killed a student and a teacher from Paramus Middle School involving a bus driver allegedly trying to make an illegal U-turn is that the state actually had advised the superintendent of the Paramus schools that Mr. Muldrow, the bus driver, had actually lost his eligibility to drive. Now, superintendent came back and said, wait a minute. It was all about a medical file that he had to get done properly and on time, and the license was reinstated. So at the time, he was in fact eligible to drive. Monica Guy has the details. Monica, what do you got for us?
As the community in Paramus, New Jersey still comes to terms with the tragic loss of a fifth grader and a beloved school teacher, there are now disturbing reports that the school district might have known something more about the school bus driver's driving history than we previously knew. 10-year-old Miranda Vargas and teacher Jennifer Williamson died, and dozens of others were hurt in that crash on Route 80 in Mount Olive, New Jersey. It happened on May 17, but last December, the State Department of Education sent the school district a letter saying that the school bus driver, 77-year-old Huddy Muldrow Sr., was decertified as a school bus driver. The prosecutor handling the case said in court this week that Muldrow had his license suspended a total of 14 times and had 8 speeding tickets. Shortly after the crash, school superintendent Michelle Robinson told the media that she didn't know about the moving violations on Muldrow's driving record. When we pressed her for more details this afternoon, she issued us a written statement saying in part, we had no information that Mr. Muldrow had any moving violations. We received a letter from the state on the eve of winter recess that his license was briefly suspended for reasons that had nothing to do with moving violations or his driving ability. Well, the lawyer representing Miranda Vargas's family had this to say about it.
It would appear that on the date in question, his credentials were valid. Whether that means she was following the letter of the law, that's something we'll have to wait and see. Whether this man should have been driving those children on that day, I think it's pretty clear that that was not a very good decision by the Board of Education to allow him to be driving them on that day, both because of what happened and what we now have learned about his driving background.
Investigators say Muldrow made an illegal U-turn on the highway while driving that bus full of kids and chaperones who were all just headed out for a school field trip. Well, as Muldrow allegedly navigated that U-turn, the bus was hit by a dump truck. Now he's facing reckless vehicular homicide charges. So how do you know if the school bus driver who's picking up and dropping off your children is safe behind the wheel? Well, there's a measure at the federal level that's working on that. It's called the Secures Act. It would require school buses to have lap and shoulder belts. It would also help ensure kids actually wear them. Building on that, New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer says he wants to add provisions to make sure that school bus drivers don't have any driving issues that would make them unsafe. Reporting from Paramus, New Jersey, for Chasing News, I'm Monica Guy.
Thank you, Monica. All right, let's bring in the A-plus panel for tonight's show. I'm joined by pop culture expert Lisa Durden. Always good to see you, Lisa.
Thanks.
And former prosecutor and defense attorney Bob Bianchi. Bob, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, Bill.
That letter came from a criminal division to the superintendent. It would seem to me that, is it really relevant that at the time he was eligible because of this history of bad driving and not filing out the paperwork and not paying parking tickets? It's all of it. What do you think?
I think it's a problem. It is about whether or not the state and or the county and or the local superintendents or the State Department of Education have a system in place to make sure that these people don't have bad driving records. Somebody dropped the ball here unless they think that this kind of driving record is acceptable to
Lisa, what do you
kids.
think? I mean, the superintendent's saying that, look, the state said the guy was eligible. Can she really go beyond that?
I sort of agree with Bianchi today.
Wow.
That doesn't happen often. But I'm kind of torn because, you know, I felt like she could have done a better due diligence. But when you get the approval from the department, you're thinking, I'm cleared. But if you would have requested the record, she would have seen that he had not just parking tickets. He had careless driving, and he also had some speeding tickets.
There's liability no matter how you look at it.
Because the parents of those children who were harmed don't want to hear excuses.
Right.
Yep.
That's it.
I would agree with that. Local accountability.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.